So I've been watching the San Antonio Spurs a lot more recently, and I've just come to the realization that they really are an amazing team. And today I want to answer the question of like whether or not they're contenders. Um, and that word contender just gets really like thrown around a lot for a lot of different teams around the league. Like a lot of teams are labeled contenders and they aren't really contenders. Like they probably can't even make it out of their conference, but people just label them contenders. Sometimes that's as a result of like having a superstar on their team. Just maybe the team isn't amazing, or maybe they have like a hot streak and then they're labeled contenders, or maybe they beat like an amazing team in the league and then people are like throwing that contender word around. Maybe they have like just like it's numerous things that make people label a team a contender. However, I might actually label the Spurs a contender. I like coming into the season, I didn't think they would be contenders. Like I thought they could probably make the playoffs, but like probably not have home court advantage in the playoffs if they did. But right now, they're around the fourth seed in the West. They're 19-7. They've been great all season, especially recently. Wemby just came back recently, and even without Wemby, the Spurs were still great without him. So like their depth is much better than it's been in a while. The best has been in the Wemby era. As I said, like being able to hold it down without Wemby, like they have a great roster. And right now, their offensive rating is 119, around 7th in the league. Their defensive rating is around 113, which is around 11th in the league, and is 117 without Wemby on the floor, the defensive rating that is. They're around 7th in net rating. And this whole, like all these stats just goes to show like how good of a team they are. Like they're top 10 in offensive rating and almost top 10 in defensive rating, which is like heavily carried by Wemby. The defensive rating, which I'm referring to, is heavily carried by Wemby. Wemby is just like amazing. Like another word that gets thrown out a lot is generational. When people like to label players as generational, this player's generational. Like a lot of people just like to label like the first pick in the draft generational. I don't really like that. Like I don't really just throw that word around. Like I'm really like picky with who I like label generational and all that. But Wemby is definitely a generational player. Like he's been carrying the Spurs this year. Like obviously, like as I said, they were good without him, so it's not like they like live and die by Wemby. But he's been playing a huge role for them, making the defense amazing. Like his defensive impact, like he really makes or breaks a defense. Like it's just crazy how good he is on the defensive end, and not to mention the offensive end. Like he started off the season really hot. He was dropping like 30-40 games back to back. Like he was going crazy in the beginning of the season. He's really kind of cooled down a bit, especially since recently when he came back, he's been on a minute restriction and also just like coming off that injury. But yeah, he's great on the offensive end. He's improved from last year. And he's just going to keep like getting better. And it's crazy to see like Wemby's like ascension. This is year 3. Year 3 Wemby is coming. Like he's really going to be really good. I can't wait to see him play in the playoffs, because the Spurs are definitely going to make the playoffs. Like I'm talking about how they're contenders, so they're definitely going to make the playoffs. But yeah, like they can possibly be like top 10 in offensive and defensive rating by the end of the year. They already damn near are right now. So that's really like a recipe for a contender. Like they have their superstar in Victor. Victor is like top 5 player in the league. You can like maybe top 7 at like worst. So they have their superstar, top 5 player in the league. They have damn near top 10 offensive and defensive rating. They have a lot of depth. They have role players. They have really everything a contender needs. Like they have pretty good health as well. He also has his co-star, not to mention De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox has been having a great year, one of the best years of his career. I'm really loving how Dylan Harper's been looking. Like I love the way he just gets in the paint, his touch, his floater game. Like I love a lot about Dylan Harper's game. Stephon Castle's also playing pretty good this season. He's an amazing slasher. He can't really shoot right now, but like I'm sure that'll come eventually. Like maybe not this year, but eventually like down the road in his career. Harrison Barnes has been really good this season, which is pretty surprising. Like Harrison Barnes is somebody you expect to just come out and be good. Like obviously he hasn't been like bad recently, but recently, like as in like the past few years, he hasn't been bad. but he has been like amazing, and now he's really, really efficient. He's a great shooter, great 3-point shooter. Like he always has been a great 3-point shooter, but this year he's like super efficient. I'm pretty sure he's like really efficient from the corner as well. So shout out to Harrison Barnes. He's been helping a lot. Like this Spurs team is deep. They can win without their best player. They have everything you need in order to be a contender in this league. It's just the thing about labeling them a contender, or really any team right now, especially in the Western Conference, is whether or not they can beat the Thunder, especially, but also just like the top teams in the West. Like, I mean, the Spurs are kind of a top team in the West now, but the three that I'm really talking about here are the Thunder, of course, the Rockets, and the Nuggets. Now, I don't know if the Spurs can beat any of those teams. So they did recently beat the Thunder, as we know. However, that was just one game. Like, that doesn't mean they can beat them in the 7-game series. And right now, as of today, I'm still going to pick the Thunder in the 7-game series against the Spurs, maybe in like 5 or 6. But the Rockets and Nuggets is where things actually get interesting. Like, they definitely have a chance against those two teams. I'll probably say they have a higher chance to beat the Rockets rather than the Nuggets, just because of the Jokic. Like, that Jokic factor, them having him the best player in the world, is enough by itself for the Nuggets to be able to win against them. And also, the Nuggets are just a great team. It's like the deepest their roster has ever been in the Jokic era. So I would probably pick the Nuggets over the Spurs in the playoff series. The Rockets versus Spurs, like, that series could go either way. It really just depends on like what day you ask me what team I would really pick in that series. But the Spurs definitely have a really good chance of winning that. Rockets are a great defensive team, though. Maybe they run that double big lineup to like kind of slow Wemby down, or maybe they which has been seen a lot. Maybe they put like a wing on him, like a pretty strong, good defensive wing on him. And they have plenty of those. Like, they could put like Tari Eason on him, maybe Jabari Smith, even though he's kind of like a big man. Amin Thompson maybe can guard him. Like, they have great defensive wings over there. So it might be like kind of a tough matchup for Wemby. So depending on how Wemby plays, depending on how they can contain him, that will really like determine how the series goes. But I could definitely see the Spurs beating them. I could see the Spurs beating the Nuggets as well, but I would pick the Nuggets. But they definitely have a chance. Only one they don't have a chance against, in my opinion, is the Thunder. The Thunder are just like head and shoulders above everybody else. A team I didn't mention that I just thought of now was the Lakers. Honestly, they probably have like the best chance to beat them out of those teams I just mentioned, like the 4 teams I just mentioned: Lakers, Thunder, Rockets, Nuggets. They probably have the best chance to beat the Lakers. So like from best to worst chance, I'll probably go Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, Thunder. And Thunder are really like no chance. I see nowhere where they beat them. But with the Lakers, like, the Lakers don't have any good defensive bigs. Like, I don't really see who's guarding Wemby. Like, they don't have any good defensive wings either. Like, they don't really have good defense at all, really. Like, they have a few good defenders. Like, they have Vando, they have Marcus Smart. Like, but I don't see Vando or Marcus Smart stopping Victor Wembanyama. And then you got like DeAndre Ayton at the center. Like, I don't see any of them stopping Victor. So they have a great chance of being the Lakers. I might pick them in a series against the Lakers. Who knows? It's just hard to pick against a team that has Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves, like 3 elite scorers. Like, maybe not LeBron. LeBron may not be an elite scorer today. We'll see how that goes for the rest of the season, like in the playoffs and stuff. But that series can also go either way. I don't know who I would pick, like, just thinking about it right now, but it could really go either way. But yeah, the Spurs, if they can beat one of those teams, which they have a chance to beat the top teams in the West, other than OKC. Like, obviously OKC is just like in a different tier, but they could really make it out of the West if like everything goes in their favor. They will probably have to face OKC though, which kind of like throws a wrench into things. It's kind of hard really just picking anybody outside of OKC to make it out the West to the finals. So we'll see how that goes. But the Spurs are real contenders in the West, like excluding the Thunder, obviously, like just like disregarding them for this conversation right now, at least. The Spurs are real contenders. They could definitely make the finals, even win the finals. Like, they could probably beat somebody coming out the East, like the Knicks or maybe the Pistons. They can definitely beat somebody coming out the East. But I'm just loving the Spurs team. I think they are contenders at this point. They are playing great. They are really like kind of like ahead of schedule. Like, maybe not have had schedule since Wemby is so good, but it's just crazy how fast like they've become good. Like just a couple years ago, they were a lottery team. Like it's just crazy to see their growth, how fast they've like risen to the top. But shout out to the Spurs. I think they are contenders. Let me know what you think about this whole thing in the comments.